first floor of the CME Group. This is Danny Riley with today's closing print, and we're right on the cash close. You know, the S&P traded back up to its early week high at 22 even and failed. And with the exception of today, total volume all week long, every day in the S&P was under 1.3 million contracts. That is not good, my friends. The high of the S&P came in at 1521.60. The low came in at 1516.5. And last we're 1516 even. We're down 2.5 handles. Total volume, we've got 1.65 million minis traded and an amazing 8 to 10,000 big S&Ps in the pit. I don't know where that came from, but there's no spread showing up on the board, so they've had a decent day in there. MOC, this is a killer. We had 1.8 billion to buy. Wow. You know, they keep talking about inflows letting up and going into these mutual funds and money market funds. Well, we're surely not seeing that here in the broader market. Now, Mondays, the exchange is closed for the president's holiday, but we want to explain how this works. Sunday night, Globex opens up at 5 o'clock at its regular time, and then Globex will close on Monday at 10:30 Central Time, and then reopen at 5 p.m. in the afternoon. And then we'll return to our regular schedules on Tuesday. Now, as far as the economic schedule for Tuesday, we've got one release. We've got the housing market index. And then lastly, you know what? Look, when the markets are so pinned up the way they are and there's so much money flowing in, it's going to be hard to get the markets to go down. Now, earlier this week, we had a sell-off, and then the next day, the S&P came charging back. Today, the expiration stats showed the S&P as being weak on the Friday of the expiration, and thus we got a little downside. But then late in the day, the S&P firmed up, and it went back up a little bit. Have a good holiday, and we'll see you on Tuesday.